Thank you very much, and all the kids in the band want you to know that we do love you madly.
Hi, Dick, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dick. I am honored to be able to take part in this celebration of you.
Happy birthday, Dick. I wonder if you ever consider what might have happened if your parents hadn't been making whoopee before the Japanese invaded Pearl Harbor.
It's hard to believe that our friendship of 34 years accounts for almost half of your 80. Where did the time go?
Hi, Dick. It's Ben Boone. Happy birthday.
Hi, my name is John Schwabe. I'm on faculty at University of Northern Iowa, and I'm in my 28th year. I studied with Dick Goodwin from 1988 to 1992, and I'm really happy, delighted to be a part of this gathering of a little tribute videos from his students to mark the occasion of his reaching his 80th year. And this is a treat to be able to do this.
Hey, Dick. Dick Goodwin. Dick Maltz here. Happy to be a part of this, wishing you a happy birthday, and you certainly deserve it. It's amazing how you meet people in your life that just turn you in a certain direction or cause your life to take a certain turn. And it seems all haphazard and random, but it's worked out well for me. I'm from Massachusetts, of course, and I've been in South Carolina for over 30 years. And it's been great, man. It's been great.
I'm going to read this to you. Sorry about that. It's not exactly spontaneous, but I wanted to make sure I got it right. I was very surprised to learn that you were going to be the age that you are. Part of that is probably because I was a lot younger when we first met. It all goes by so fast, and it's easy to forget that 1978 was some time ago. But another important factor, I think, is that in vital ways, you don't act your age. You don't slow down, you connect with people eagerly, and your creative spark glows as brightly as any 30-year-old's. Your kind friendship and Winkies through all these years has been treasured. Any insights you have offered about my scores along the way have always been very carefully considered. And I have really fond memories of your several guest artist appearances at the Fine Arts Center here in Greenville, which we both know is mostly an excuse to talk shop and check out restaurants. I always told my students before your arrival that you were one of the very best all-around musicians that I knew. The next day, the students invariably agreed.
I think students of Dick Goodwin know that not only has he taught us the craft of composition, but maybe even more importantly, how to be a composer. And the story that I think best illustrates this for me is a concert that I helped produce back in 2000, I think. And we brought down the USC Symphony Orchestra from Columbia down to Charleston to do a concert of newly written works, and I asked Dick Goodwin to write a work, and had a great concert. Concert's over. I'm up there schmoozing with the donors and looking around, and I'm thinking, well, where's Dick Goodwin? He needs to be here for this. Well, come to find out, he was out in the bus that was about to go back to Columbia, telling the students what a great job they'd done before they made the long trip back to Columbia. And that really has stuck with me. And I think that sort of captures the kind of generosity and charity that makes Dick Goodwin such a special person.
I was always impressed by the fact that Dick could write in just about any kind of style or any idiom. it didn't matter, you know, any day he might say, well, I just finished up a big band chart and now I'm working on a film score. And then tomorrow I've got to arrange something for the Palmetto Singers. I mean, he was just able to wear so many musical hats, and that was very impressive to me.
You're just so good at so many things. It's a little bit disgusting to be so good at composing music in every genre imaginable, blow that trumpet the way that you blow it, and have mixing chops and all that too. It's really pretty remarkable.
I have to admit, I was really flattered to join this auspicious group of your more highly successful mentees, but a little apprehensive as well. How do I express 34 years of gratitude for our friendship adequately? I've got some great memories of us from all those years, from keeping you and Winky awake on Wildcat Creek, fishing in your river over at your mom's house, all the jazz things we've done. And I really wish I had a photograph of you and your lederhosen when you were filling in with the famous Channelhammer Oompa Band. Some very, very fun times.
I don't know why we make such a big deal out of tens and celebrating them. We even do it with symphonies. Well, except for Shostakovich and Miaskovsky and Hovannes and anything written before 1800. But at any rate, I'm glad you've made it 8 decades, and it's been a great pleasure of mine to say that I know you and that I've worked with you.
Of my time around you those many years ago at USC, more than any one specific incident, I simply remember Dr. Goodwin, the musician who taught by example. I arrived in Columbia as a rather naive graduate student, a very modest fish from an unremarkable pond who thought a good bit more of his chops than was warranted. And there I meet this person of immense and diverse abilities, a composer fluent in several idioms, a performer on instruments of nearly every family, and a teacher without blind spots. A musician who never talked about himself except to note that he was still working on his oral skills that ran circles around mine. Turns out that was the lesson: musicianship, competence, respect and collegiality, character and humility. Compose music for human beings, let the notes do the talking, and savor the joy in doing it. As I came to understand who you were, I also understood that this was the standard to be striven for. It's still my model, and I'm still trying.
I don't think you have any idea how uplifting it is and has been over the years, to find you and Winky sitting in the audience when I premiered a new piece. Totally unannounced, never let me know you're going to be there. You just showed up to be supportive. It's really meant the world to me.
I did not start as a traditional student. I began in 1989, did a year or so from Massachusetts because I wasn't down here yet. This is before computers, and I did courses by correspondence. I happened to hook up with Jerry Curry, who was at the time the dean of the graduate program. And he said, let's try it. If we ask somebody, they'll say no, so let's just do it. And that's always been a lesson that has stuck with me. Just do something. At any rate, he hooked me up with a few teachers, Dr. Peak, Sam Douglas, and you. And we did composition lessons by cassette tape. Yeah, old cassette tapes. And I appreciated that you got back to me so soon. I would send you something and you'd send something right back. And it was just talking about music on tape and unorthodox, certainly. but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I got to know you as a voice before the complete person, and it was a good introduction. It made me feel good about USC in South Carolina.
I come from a sort of a jazz background, and it really made a deep impression on me that to be studying with someone who was so well versed in such a vast spectrum of styles, and just knows a lot about historical styles and whatever. He was he conducts and jazz pianist, trumpet player. I mean, it's amazing the number of things that he does well.
You and I both came into each other's lives rather late in the picture in our stories, though your reputation preceded you when I first came to South Carolina in the 70s. You were famous or notorious even back then. I was trying to remember among the many great conversations we've had and the good experiences I had studying composition with you, I was trying to remember things that were very significant to me, and three things came to mind. The first one, I was really moved when you and Dorothy Payne had driven up the mountain to come and see the premiere of my opera with the Spartanburg Repertory Company. And the next good memory I have is you coming up the mountain again to play trumpet on the Leslie Berry No Cinderella album on two of the tracks, which I still enjoy listening to often. But the one thing that really has stuck with me the most, I don't think you might even remember. And I think it says a lot about your integrity and also your teaching style. I had a conversation with you once, and I said, if I could do anything I wanted, I would like to write with 17th and 18th century harmony, and then orchestrate, counterpoint, and do figuration like Richard Strauss. And I don't remember exactly your reply, whether it was in the form of a question, which actually would be more like you, or the form of an imperative, but you either said, well, why don't you? Or I think you might have said, just do it. Either way, I've been trying to do it, and that has stuck with me probably more than anything any composition teacher ever said to me, and has meant more than almost anything.
By the way, I've always enjoyed your own stories of your own past, like Hunter Johnson's dark glasses and what it meant when he put them on, um, all your Kent Kennan stories, and your German dictionary exploding before your own doctoral foreign language exam. Love your stories.
When I think of the milestone that you've reached, I can't help but think back on all of the wonderful experiences that I've been able to share with you as a student, a mentor, a confidant, and most especially a friend.
I tell you what, the seminars that you used to hold at your house, that was the highlight for me. I just love that. That's a model for me that says what college should be. I tell you what we did in composition lessons and what we did in those seminars was the basis for my teaching all those years. Definitely copied that model. It was a good example for me, and I enjoyed sharing that sort of thing with students.
Your voice and your actions have really guided how I've tried to be a professor and how I've tried to be a human being.
I think one of the most interesting things about your mentoring is the incredibly wide array of genre that you've been helpful with. Whether it's an octet and organ and chordal harmonies and mixed meters, or an 18-piece big band chart, a work for full orchestra, an oompa tune for the brass quintet, or just a sonata for horn and piano. You've always looked over the piece with remarkable insight and been able to make some sort of meaningful comments and suggestions. I really think I could probably drop a chart for two harps and bagpipe on you, and you'd have something meaningful to say. You'd feel right at home, letting me know how to make it just a little bit better.
When I came here, I had never really experienced anything like a composition seminar where we would get together with all of the comp majors and usually on Fridays, and we would listen to a new piece of music and we would discuss it. And sometimes the discussions became very agitated, um, and passionate, I guess is a better word. And I just loved that. I just ate it up. I was hooked on it. And I always tried to schedule my composition lessons so that they would be, the hour before or the hour after, and always on Friday if I could, if there was any way to manage it. And that would become the focal point of my week.
I'm so fortunate to have been in the front row to learn from your expertise as a musician and scholar. And I'm even more fortunate to have gotten to know you and Winifred at the level that I have over the past almost 40 years. Without question, you've touched so many lives and done more for music throughout the state of South Carolina than any one individual could have ever attempted. You not simply kept music alive in our state, but you've shaped the landscape. You've guided so many of us. You've planted the seeds and you nurtured them, and you made sure that there was growth.
You've been a good friend, Dick, a good mentor. We've appreciated the get-togethers. Marie and I have appreciated, having a chance to go out to dinner with you and Winky, and hopefully we'll get to do that again sometime soon. But you've always been a good advocate. You've always supported me as a composer, whether it was recording projects or commissions or concerts or whatever it was. You've trying to find jobs. You've always been in my corner, and I appreciate that.
Well, simply put, Dick, you really are responsible for a lot of the good things that have happened in my life. You talked me into going to doctorate school, and that took a little bit of prodding after I moved down from New York, and then got me to finish my dissertation, which was no small feat. Remember that phone call where I called you and said, well, I think I'll get it done this year. And you said, oh, good, because I already have lined up your defense. The date is this, and this, and you're good to go. So you've always been there, not only for me, but for all of your students. And every time I interact with a student, I think about you. Your example lives in me. Every time I sit down to write a piece of music, your advice is in my mind, thinking, oh, what would Dick say about this? And you've helped me with some of my albums, and you're just a gift to the music world and just a gift to the world.
Very open-minded and could run with the ball. Whatever you were trying to do, he didn't miss a beat. And calm, he's a friendly guy, and has an inviting personality. And so the lessons were always very comfortable, and he has a great balance of being able to give the criticism that he felt was necessary, but also encourage. And I think that was a kind of a balance that really I really responded to. And the other thing is that all these years have passed since I finished my doctorate, but I still call him up, and say, well, Dick, would it be cool to double the Barry with the tuba here, or whatever question? I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge, vast repository of information and know-how. And it's been a real pleasure to just, know him and be able to sort of tap into his knowledge base.
So you are never far from my thoughts whenever I sit down to try to make up some new music.
You've even been supportive of some of my crazy ass instrument construction projects. I think one of my favorites is this one with my homemade chumbasso many years ago. Let me dig it up here.
When I finally did get the doctorate, something that you said to me was you shook my hand and you said, "Welcome to the club." And that was a moment that I'll always remember.
So, Dick, I hope you are able during this COVID time to have some semblance of a happy birthday. Please know that we all are thinking of you, holding you in our hearts, as always, and in our thoughts, and celebrating you and all that you've done and all that you continue to do.
I can't wait until the pandemic is over to celebrate with you in person and hopefully share many more memories very soon. If anyone on this earth deserves to have another 80 wonderful years, it is most certainly you. So again, happy birthday, Dick. I hope you enjoy this and every day, and I hope to see you again real soon.
So nice to me, and I treasure their friendship, and I'm so happy to wish you a 80th happy 80th birthday and many happy returns.
If anyone on earth deserves a happy birthday and many, many, many more, it's you, because you are indeed one of those rare angels on this earth.
You've been a great friend. I hope our friendship continues for a long time. So I want you to know I wish you the best going forward, and I hope we have many more opportunities to talk and spend time together. Happy birthday, Dr. Goodwin.
Know and love you. I wish you a wonderfully happy 80th, my old friend, and look forward to many, many more. Live it up.
So happy birthday. Happy 80th. That's a pretty good milestone. I won't ask you what it feels like. I'll just wait till I get there myself. A quick funny thing before I sign off. My mother turns 88 this year. And I was talking about it with my sister. And I mentioned to her, there are 88 keys on a piano. And so she said, well, maybe you should write her a song that sounds something like this. She grew up in Massachusetts when she was just a little girl, and then anyway, you get the idea. Maybe I'll write something like that for you in 8 years. But in the meantime, glad to know you. Thanks for everything, and happy birthday.
So, happy birthday, Doctor. Many happy returns to the day, and I hope we can share a glass of wine soon.
So, happy birthday, my old friend and mentor. Live it up.